the ongoing series of team leadership, building and development. Today we will be talking more on team building and effectiveness, and in this regard we will be elaborating on collaborative communication and effective teams. So before we move on to collaborative communication, let me just tell you about the importance of communication. Organizational relationships are complicated because we are humans and coming from many different cultures and individual groups. We have our own upbringing, we have our own story, and owing to which there are agreements, there are disagreements, there are conflicts and other things relating to importance of communication in the modern corporate organizations. The disagreements and the conflicts are bound to occur between the staff members, between the staff and the management, and between the partner organizations. And the source of the conflict may be a miscommunication, the difference of opinion, and the cross-cultural diversity and others. So we have seen in this particular slide about what the communication importance is all about in the modern day organizations. In the organizations, we have to communicate with all the stakeholders in the organization. And since we come from the different and a diverse background, so we are having our cultural myths with us, the cultural, heritage with us, the individual upbringing with us, the individual way of conduct as far as the organization is concerned. So with so much of diversity and so many differences which we have as an individual, so there are possibilities of some kind of conflicts and some kind of disagreements as far as the staff, management, partners, stakeholders are concerned. So these things are bound to happen. And of course, when you talk about the source of conflict, it definitely can be because of many reasons. Maybe there is a miscommunication, maybe there is a half communication, maybe there is more communication, maybe there is a diversion and the differences of the opinion. And sometimes because of the cultural shocks and the cultural diversity and the differences, for certain things we consider good in a culture and for certain things we do not consider good in the culture. So all these things lead to the importance of communication, and the communication is the essence of management. The more clear, lucid and other aspects of communication it is for the organization, the better it is for the organization, for the smooth sailing of the management activities and the other core functioning of the organization. However, many bad feelings, relationship problems, destructive conflict and inefficient result simply from the way people communicate with one another. And the communication skills are lagging simply because one does not have any opportunity to develop them, resulting in unnecessary conflict and friction. So we engage in arguments that are more oriented to winning than to solving the problems. And this results the team that won't well because they lack skills. So we have seen, as far as the modern day corporations and the organizations and the business units are concerned, when we have some kind of a disagreement as far as the core functioning of the organization is concerned, and definitely our purpose when we are communicating with one another, it is definitely not to solve the problem which otherwise should have been the center. The whole orientation is towards winning, that I won the argument, I am the winner in the argument, and so on and so forth. So this kind of a bad orientation is definitely very bad for the organization. So definitely these kind of skills will not work for the organization to move forward. As a matter of fact, we should, communicate, solve the problems rather than having this kind of an orientation of winning the argument. This is definitely a negative connotation which is never ever welcomed in the organization's working. Now we talk about a corporate communication, we talk about collaborative communication. So there is a question which comes to our mind. What is collaboration? Collaboration is working together towards a shared goal. Collaboration means working with one another, working together, working as a team, Of course, when you work as a team, as far as the official organizations are concerned, we definitely have a shared goal with us, and the orientation is to achieve that particular shared goal with the team working together, and that is called as collaboration. Now, what are the elements of collaboration? Let us look on this concept. The first and the foremost is positive interdependence, face-to-face interactions, individual and group accountability, social skills, that is communication, and other aspects, that is the processing, that is the reflecting part. So we will be talking about these elements of collaboration one by one. So let me first give you the insights of what the positive interdependence means. These are the important elements of collaboration, and the positive interdependence means that each member has a unique contribution whose efforts are required and are indispensable for the group of success. And definitely each one of us, when we are working together in a group or in a team, in the corporate organizations, so definitely we have certain roles to play. And each member has a unique contribution in this regard, whose efforts are required, and definitely if the efforts are not met, definitely the group success will not be achieved. So the contribution of each individual is of course indispensable in this regard. The second is your face-to-face interactions. We each help the others succeed. That means we work on the same path, we walk on the same path, we collaborate, and there are face-to-face interactions which makes the things happen. The third is your individual and group accountability. Each member has a responsibility to fulfill, without which we cannot structure the collaboration, communication, etc. So each one of us is designated with a particular role and responsibility which we need to play to fulfill and achieve our shared goals. The next is your social skills, that is communication. We learn how to work together to accomplish effectively. And the next is your processing, that is reflecting. So these are the major 4 elements of collaboration. Now it comes to my mind, what does collaboration look like? When you're collaborating, what are you doing? So this is a very simple set of questions which wreck the mind of all of us. So when we talk together, when we collaborate, when there is a collaborative communication in the organization, there are certain things happen, out of which the first is your sharing of the ideas. When people talk to one another, definitely we share some ideas, and ideas can change your life. And of course, listening to others, taking turns, twisting turns, and of course, talking to each other. And these kind of questions, they wreck our mind, that what do we do together when we are collaborating and talking. So these aspects have to be shared together, talking to each other, listening to each other, taking the turns in terms of what others are saying. So, asking the questions, and of course, all these things matter a lot. So in this regard, the first is your employee collaboration. Now, what does it mean? Employee collaboration occurs when 2 or more people collaborate to achieve a common goal. And of course, it differs from the teamwork in that the teamwork often involves a physical component. Employees can collaborate more easily and conveniently than ever before, and of course, thanks to the modern technology. Employee collaboration can now be done in person or via collaboration platform. Working remotely has made it easier to share the ideas virtually also. Within no time, clicking on a particular link, we can be virtually connected. And of course, we are physically watching each other. And of course, you can do anything about exchanging of the ideas, talking about a particular concept, finding out a solution. So of course, this is a beautiful collaboration platform which we call it as e-platform, and it gives a remote chance to everyone to be connected virtually to share the ideas. Now, starting with the network analysis, it can really help with the team collaborations. The first and the foremost step is to determine which functions require connectivity. The next is note the connections among the prioritized areas. Consider using time cards, project codes, a questionnaire, or simply observing how employees spend their day. So, the use of the data to construct the network maps that show the employee relationships. This will be the beginning point for forming a team. That is, you need to know the kind of construct network relationships in the organization. Which employee is connected to which employee in terms of the networks, how they respond, how they talk, whom to report. So all these kind of structures are really helpful in employee collaboration because this is the first step and the beginning point of forming a team. So the crew will already know each other and their work styles. Remember that you want your team members that complement one another, not compete with each other. That is collaboration, cooperation, and not the competition. If the vice versa value system persists in an organization, you don't know where your organization is going towards. That path is definitely a path of a disaster. So you should try and develop your team members, your collaborative efforts, so that you develop a respect for all the team members. You complement each other, you cooperate each other, and of course there is no place of competition but only cooperation and complementing each other in terms of the employee collaboration. So a team that is reclusive and reluctant to share the ideas does not make for a successful discussion in person or online. So a squad of extroverts shouting over each other is also a very bad idea. You want a mix of personalities and the skills on your staff. So these things have to be kept in mind, that you cannot be repulsive to each other. There can be a healthy discussion if you want to come on to a particular solution, but you should not be engaging yourself in a wasteful activity which is called as shouting loud or bad mouthing your team members. So you want the personalities to be developed, the skills to be developed of your staff members. So for this regard, you need to take some extra efforts, some extra steps. Be calm, be polite, be docile, be soft to your people. Having bad ideas, shouting loud, extrovert, having all these perspective in mind is definitely a very worst idea, wherein you cannot grow as a team, as a group, and as an organization. So you should assure everyone that they may be themselves when participating in team cooperation. They don't have to change. They do not have to wear the mask. So you need to create such an atmosphere as far as the employee collaboration is concerned. When the people are talking to each other, they can be their own self. They don't have to wear any other personality. They don't have to wear somebody else's mask. So be yourself and participate in the team cooperation. That is the only way to success as far as the employee collaboration is concerned. So let me just give you some illustrations of the collaborative teams and their possible benefits. Out of which the first is, it promotes the problem solving. Now employees are less likely to confront the challenges at work, and if their company has a strong collaborative culture. So we can say, when you are collaborating, working together as a team, you definitely find out many parts and promotes the problem solving, which is primarily a key feature of the organization. So let me just give you an example in this regard. A manufacturer's typical supplier cannot fulfill a part order. Several salespersons, the warehouse managers, and the ordering department worked together to discover a solution and another supplier willing to fill the order quickly and affordably. So, finding a new solution sometimes require combining of the knowledge, relationship of the different parties together. And one of the most essential employee cooperation benefits is timely problem solutions. So, if you have the collaborative teams working functional in your organization, so finding a particular solution on a particular problem with combination of the knowledge and the relationships together, then of course the only path and the only outcome is a timely problem solution, which is definitely the need of today. The second is working with the people from diverse backgrounds and experience levels benefits everyone. Working together on a problem may include a brainstorming sessions. Employees may constantly learn from one another, and of course the professionals with varying level of experts and the expertise and the knowledge see the same scenario in the different ways. The third is it allows the employees to learn from one another. So, if you are a collaborative, cooperative, effective team, then only this will happen. That is, it will allow you, that is, as an employee, to learn from one another immensely. So, when the employees from the various backgrounds and the degree of experience are permitted to collaborate, everyone will be benefited. For example, the brainstorming sessions may be a part of cooperating on a problem. The employees can always benefit from one another viewpoints, and people with the varying levels of professional experience and understanding look at the same scenario from the various perspectives. Then of course the next benefit, if you see as far as the collaborative team is concerned, is increased employee productivity. Employee productivity is likely to rise when they begin to work together more collaboratively. Employees who feel like they are a part of the broader group, for example, are more likely to feel loyal and belong to the group, and in comparison to someone who does not have any strong sense of loyalty to the firm, and they will not put out a greater effort to not let the group down. The next is your problem solving becomes easier in general. So different personalities and the levels of experience are brought together in teams, and it becomes much easier to solve the problems as a result of this. And when a group is working on a particular task, the problem solving becomes easier in general also. And even if there are some tension, friction, and as far as the team conversation is concerned, that friction could be impetus for a new approach to the problem. So this is a method via new solutions are discovered. The next most important is collaboration among the team members. They boost the organization's ability to evolve. So when the people work together well, the organization is better able to adapt to the changes. For example, the company has opted to implement new technologies, and some employees are sarcastic while others are apathetic, and even others are concerned about this development. So anything, whatever you would like to introduce in the organization, it becomes easier if your team is a collaborative team. and it will boost organizations, people, and the culture of the motivation will be developed. And when the people will work together well, they are able to adapt to these changes which are introduced because of some pressing circumstances as far as the contemporary organizations are concerned. Like company has to opt for the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, the machine learning. These are the few prime examples and the buzzwords which are much talked about as far as the new technologies are concerned. And some of the employees are ecstatic, and while others are apathetic. Some people will welcome such changes and some people will not welcome such changes. And even if others are concerned about this development, the possibilities are only there if you have the collaboration amongst the team members. Otherwise, it becomes definitely very, very difficult task to introduce any kind of changes in the organization. So, collaboration among the team members will boost the organization's ability to evolve. Now, see, when you talk about the evolution means introducing something new and slowly and steadily making it a culture, and of course, eventually a culture will be evolved because you are accepting the changes, you are welcoming the changes, you are putting your fears outwardly ejected from your life. So, the collaborative teams, they play a very, very impetus role, a pivotal role, a very prime role to make the organization evolving as far as the modern technologies are concerned. So, those who are very enthusiastic can assist these kind of changes, and those who are very indifferent and very fearful as far as adopting, embracing the new advancement and the technology, and it will be very difficult even if the demonstrating benefits are immense. So, if the element of collaboration is not there in this regard, you will not be able to have the evolving organization which is the need of today. So, all these parameters have to be kept in mind, and of course, if you adopt to the basic cultures, you will be able to have the evolution, you will be able to introduce the change, you will be able to increase the productivity, and of course, people will learn from one another. So, let me just give you a recap of what we have done as of now, explaining the benefits of the collaborative teams. So, when you talk about the collaborative teams, they have really good benefits. So, let me just give you a quick recap of what we have done. The number one benefit is that it provides us the timely, the problem solutions as far as the organization working is concerned. And working with the people from the diverse backgrounds and experience levels, they benefit everyone, and it allows the employees to learn from one another, because when the employees from the various backgrounds and the degrees of experience are permitted to collaborate, everyone is benefited. For example, the brainstorming sessions may be a part of the cooperating on a problem, and the employees can always benefit from one another point of views, and the people with the varying levels of professional experience and understanding look at the time scenario from the various perspectives. So, it will also help in increasing the employee productivity. It will also help in problem solving as far as the general working is concerned. So, the problem solving becomes easier in the general terms, and also the problem solving is a very, very vital feature of the modern day organizations, and it also helps in the evolution of the organization and increasing the ability to basically solve and evolve as far as the change culture is concerned.